This is Kathy Biehl of EmpowermentUnlimited.net with Astro-Insight for the week of November 6, 2017. The concept of shattering norms has been much on our mind lately, and in the news quite a bit as well. This week it plays directly into the major aspect that perfects, and it is in fact the defining aspect of the year. There is an easy flow of energy called a trine between the force of order and the force of chaos and disruption, Saturn and Uranus. These unlikely companions have been traveling in this teamwork since last December. It peaked then, it peaked again in May, and they complete their final trine in fire on November 11th, a date that a lot of people have been putting, a good deal of importance on because of its numerological implications, 1111, master numbers. Be that as it may, Saturn and Uranus have been blasting previous ways of thinking, shattering norms, on a collective level and also within each of us. Especially since last December, there are ways of thinking about your life and about the world that are now very different for you. And as previous thought forms, previous structures, institutions, belief systems, agreements, ways of going about things, as they have been broken open to bring the possibility of doing things other ways, there has been a paradoxical, simultaneous blasting of new forms, of new energy, of new and far more individualistic ways of going about things. In your life, there is something that has been taking off inside of you, building more and more and more since last December, and this week it takes much more solid form. If nothing else, you wrap your mind around it in a bit of commitment. More likely, there's actually going to be some outer event, some development that brings this blast of life force, this new enterprising approach, into a more concrete form. It's possible that the real physicality of it isn't going to be here just yet. That may come after Saturn leaves fire and goes into its home base of Capricorn, earthly Capricorn, in December, with an additional boost once Uranus leaves the fire of do-it-alone Captain Kirk energy Aries next year and goes itself into the concrete, practical earth sign of Taurus. But this week is the final activation and stabilization of the energy, of the impulse, of the drive within you, and very likely will bring an outer development that confirms what you've been building toward. And this comes with a cosmic shove to give yourself a break, to cut yourself some slack, to get past something that you maybe have been wallowing in, some way you've been feeling sorry for yourself, some way you've been feeling bad about yourself. So there is a therapeutic component to this. There's I hate to say it, but a learning experience that comes with this, and it does entail the very high probability of therapy, of cosmic balm, of being far more forgiving to yourself and just dropping something that you keep reminding yourself of. This does have to do with your own belief systems. So if there's something that you believe about yourself, some nasty thing that you continue to say about yourself, this could be the week when you finally move past it and say, I'm tired of it. I want to just live. And Glorioski, you find yourself actually experiencing awareness of what you value on this life and what tastes good and what you want more of. And that coincides with Venus, the goddess of desire, the goddess of all we value: love, relationships, money, our precious toys and shiny objects. Venus slides into the waters of Scorpio, ruled by the other lord of desire, the desire that goes way beyond rational thought, way below rational thought, the lord of treasures that lie in the deep. Venus going into Scorpio, where she will soon meet Jupiter, who magnifies everything he touches. Venus going into Scorpio, deepening, intensifying, making a little more scary, a little more private what it is we really want. And given what the Jupiter in Scorpio transit has already brought to the surface about sexual misconduct, that one area alone, Venus moving in there as well, will draw even more attention to the feminine. There's also a financial and power component to everything that goes on in Scorpio, to the realm of Pluto. Venus also rules money. Pluto rules huge money, hence the word plutocracy. Financial secrets likely coming out in the news more and more. But on a personal level, which is the one that really is the most important to you? See if you don't this week find yourself admitting to itches, admitting to yourself some things that you feel very, very strongly, desirously about. And whether you tell anyone else or own up to it, there will be the compulsion to want. This is tractor beam drawing it to you, magnetizing want. What is the spell for relationships? Nothing's going to be trivial, and possibly nothing's going to be fleeting. So if you have a situation that involves love or money, or who knows, perhaps both, that's been percolating in your life, that's been sort of starting and then it hovers, and it sort of starts and then it hovers, we're entering the time where things get real. Homing thought of the week: it is as it is, I am as I am, and now is my time. Song of the week, I have two in honor of Venus getting into the Scorpio act. The first is Every Breath You Take by The Police, and the other one is I Can See for Miles and Miles by The Who. And the image of the week is a jetpack and taking off. You can learn more about what's coming up in my forecast for the month of November, which is posted at my site, empowermentunlimited.net, where you can also book a session with me and sign up for my mailing list to get regular announcements of my forecasts. You'll find me on Facebook at the Empowerment Unlimited page and the Astro-Insight Lounge group, and on YouTube at the Professional Aquarian channel. Talk to you next week.